guess who is with me now, who's been listening to all of this? None other than Judge Andrew Napolitano. Our collective wisdom around this table is...
That's a high level of intellect.
Not when it comes to the law and lawyers. I think they're going to settle before they even go to trial. A few $1 million. The United will want to walk away from this, and so will the city of Chicago.
Absolutely. This fellow is one of the best-known trial lawyers in Chicago, and what we have just witnessed is a rehearsal of his opening remarks to the jury. It's compelling, it grabs you, and it leaves United defenseless. The lawyer for United had very, very little that he could even say.
What I caught was that you can't, the opening statement from the lawyer was, you cannot use unreasonable force.
Correct.
An unreasonable force was used in this instance.
Well,
that's his argument.
It's news to me that he suffered a concussion, that he has to have reconstructive surgery on the nose, and that he lost 2 teeth. That makes the case far better for the plaintiffs, far worse for the police and for the airlines. This guy was harmed a lot more than just a bruised ego. These are serious injuries. So I think you're right. United does not want this case tried. What jury do they want to go in front of?
But it begs the question, doesn't it? If you're sitting in the seat and you say, no, I am not leaving, and the authorities, in this case the Aviation Security Department of Chicago City, they say, you're coming with us. No, I'm not. I'm staying. Yes, you're coming with us.
Look at what Ashley went through. He ultimately...
Yes.
You ultimately did the right thing, or you might have ended up in a hospital.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that should not be a choice in America.
Exactly.
Because your status there is not criminal. It does not trigger the ability of the police to use force on you. If your refusal to move, the doctor's refusal to move, had triggered some harm to United Airlines or whatever airline you were involved with, let them sue you. They don't have the right to have the police come in and use force to remedy everything that they think is not going their way.
So because he was not a safety threat on that plane, and because he was not a disruptive threat on that plane, they had no right to get him off.
He was not committing any crime whatsoever, not even a low-level misdemeanor by sitting there. The police had no right to be on the plane, and United had no right to use the government's police as a private security agency.
I can see a problem coming up in the future here.
People being more belligerent in this situation.
This is going to happen again and again and again.
Yes.
Lizzie, whether it's overbooking or not, I don't care.
Yeah.
People are going to be removed forcibly from planes.
Yes.
What are we going to do now?
Well, it would depend on the reason for which people are being... You can use force if the person is committing a crime by their presence, if they have a controlled dangerous substance on them, if they're harming or threatening or harassing other passengers. Under those circumstances, you can use a reasonable amount of force.
Okay, I'm sitting there. I'm in my seat.
What's this, a hypothetical?
Yes, it has to be. Because we're talking about hypothetical situations in the future.
Go ahead.
I've had a couple of drinks. You can smell it on my breath. I'm talking to the person sitting next to me. The person sitting next to me thinks I'm raising my voice, calls the flight attendant. They come over and say, you're drunk, you're off the plane. I'm not drunk. I've had 2 glasses of wine. Get out of here.
That's a very awkward situation, and the court would probably defer to the judgment of the flight attendant, which would be grossly unfair because of a perception that just in your hypothetical, just because she smelled alcohol, she assumed you were drunk. Just because this person next to you says you're too loud means you're too loud. Neither of those is naturally the case.
Right. So, going forward, we got a problem here.
The booze that you drink does not have any odor.
It doesn't have any alcohol in it. Drink, but that's another story.
And then there's a serious debate going on at the city council level of Chicago, saying the aviation security guards may not have had the authority to enter that plane and physically remove a passenger. They're not local police officers. They're aviation security. They're only supposed to look at the baggage area and the terminal area.
I stopped listening to the press conference when I came into the studio. So I don't know if he ultimately addressed his claim against the police. The part of the press conference in the city of Chicago, the part of the press conference I heard was just directed toward United. So I don't know where this is going to go. But knowing his reputation, he'll sue everybody that he can and let them point fingers at each other. So you might get a nice check from United Airlines and another nice check from Mayor Rahm Emanuel.